ついに大谷翔平選手が663日ぶりにメジャーのマウンドに帰ってきて、ドジャースが6対3でパドレスに勝利しました。大谷選手はドジャースでの初登板となる1回を1失点で切り抜け、最高球速100マイルを記録。予想を大きく上回る素晴らしいパフォーマンスでした。打者としても4打数2安打2打点の大活躍。タイムリーヒットで同点に追いつき、まさに二刀流として完璧な復帰劇を演じました。試合後の現地放送を翻訳してお届けいたします。
Welcome to Access Sportsnet Dodgers, brought to you by Mercury Insurance. John Hartung, Jerry Hairston Jr., Nomar Garcia-Parr. We had a sellout crowd here for Monday Night Baseball at the Ravine. Dodgers, great start to this four-game series against the Padres. They get a 5-run fourth inning, took the lead for good. Of course, the story of the night was Shohei Otani at the plate. He goes 2 for 4 with a double, couple of RBIs, but he pitches for the first time in 663 days, goes 1 inning, did allow 1 run.
Tell you what, good to have Shohei Otani back on the bump. Listen, the rush was there, but more importantly, the velocity was there. It's going to take some time to really build up. Good to see it back on the mound, but more importantly, he looked great at the plate. The offense came alive. Cease was in control early. Offense turned it on.
Yeah, listen, we know the story, Shohei on the mound, right? And we're also going, there's no rehab whatsoever. This is his rehab going out there. You don't know what to expect out there. Listen, they didn't really hit the ball hard off him, that's for sure. Yeah, they scored a run off him, but he jammed a couple of people. There was some weak contact. So, listen, not a bad first time out there on the hill, but nonetheless came up offensively. That was huge. And I'll tell you, the bullpen, whoever came in afterwards, they did an excellent job. And that one big inning by the offense, finally figured it out, passing it around, sending 10 batters that batted around over there in that 1 inning, which is good to see.
It felt similar to a playoff game in the sense that everybody was in their seat for the top of the first inning. They did not want to miss Shohei Otani's first inning in 663 days. Right now, let's send inside the stadium because Shohei is standing by with David Vassay.
Shohei, I know you're a team guy and you guys won the ball game tonight, but the fans are curious to know, how did it feel to be back on the mound tonight?
戻っての感触どうでしたか？本当に嬉しい気持ちと戻ってこれて、いろんな方の支えがあってここまで今日復帰できたので、まずその方々に感謝したいなと思ってます。Well, first of all, I'm very grateful for all the, staff members, people who supported me throughout this whole progress. I'm very grateful that I'm back here, healthy and pitching again.
Shohei, did you feel whole again as a baseball player tonight?
もう二刀流に戻れていい感覚、いい感触でしたか？そうですね。結果的にはいまいちでしたけど、自分の中でいいイメージを持って前進できる材料がいっぱいあったと思うので、いい一日だったなと思います。I'm not quite happy with the results, but there were a lot that I was able to take away from today's outing and today's game.
On a night like tonight where you got so many contributions from so many of your teammates, how much more special is a win and a night like tonight?
みんなが貢献して勝ったっていうのは、大谷さんの中では特別な気持ちですか？本当にいいオフェンス、特にオフェンス面、ブルペンもそうでしたけど、素晴らしい野球だったなと思うので、1回から9回まで本当に全員で勝ち取ったいい勝ちだったなと思います。It's a really great team win offensively, and also the bullpen did an amazing job holding on to the win, and it was a really, really nice win.
Congratulations on a great night, Shohei. Great to have you back on the mound, and great to see the Dodgers win again tonight. Thank you.
Thank you.
There he goes, the man, Shohei Otani, back to a two-way player, and the Dodgers get the win.
Yes, they did, DV. 28 pitches thrown tonight by Shohei Otani. The most by the sweeper with 10 of those, and then 2 different kinds of fastballs. He threw the four-seamer 9 times. He was throwing the sinker 8 times. He did mix in 1 split finger as well. And Nomar, we just heard Shohei say not really happy with the results, but he's got the highest of expectations for himself. And this is a guy who hadn't pitched in any game in 663 days, had no rehab starts, and I think all things considered, it was a good start to his return.
Yes, it was a good start. Jerry touched on it at the beginning here, just saying, listen, the velocity was there. That is true. And they were talking about also the type of contact that was ending him. That ball just kind of blooped in there and just kind of wasn't hit really hard. There was other balls that weren't hit real hard. That was probably the hardest hit one, and that was around 95 miles an hour off the bat. So everything else really wasn't. Well, that's a good sign there. But the real key thing is, how's he going to feel tomorrow? Hopefully he's feeling okay and says, listen, I recovered from that just fine. But he contributed on the bat with the bat as well, which was a good night. So Yeah, all around, this was great to see him back out there on the hill.
It was great to see. And listen, first of all, he struck out Manny Machado.
Yep.
It wasn't even close. He got him to chase. I don't know how they didn't ring up Machado on that one because he clearly went. But the most important thing is he's back on the mound. Now he has something to kind of look at video, allow him to make adjustments. When Clayton Kershaw first came back, the start really wasn't there, but what he did was he went back, looked at the video, said, you know what, I can make this type of adjustment. He made those adjustments. Now, Shohei Ohtani, for his next outing, he can make those adjustments. So the velocity there, he's healthy. Now we're going to start to build him up. It's going to be fun to see. And, oh, by the way, he'll be back tomorrow leading off.
Well, we talked about it in the pregame show. We wanted to see how he was going to react to doing both for the first time, Jerry. He kind of labored through the first inning, threw a lot of pitches, 28. Then he leads off the bottom of the first. He did strike out, but after that, he looked great at the plate, reached base 3 times, couple hits, 2 RBIs.
Yeah, he did labor a little bit in that first inning. Once again, it's been a long time since he's pitched in a big league game. That Padre team, excellent lineup. But after that first at-bat, really tip your hat to Dylan Cease. He made some pitches. Here he gets a breaking ball out of third, rocket the other way to tie the ball game up in the time, 1-1. Shohei Ohtani, he's done it in the past, able to separate him being on the hill and then him as a hitter. Huge clutch RBI knocks tonight to really help lead the offense.
You know, his first hit, when he hit that double the other way, I really like that because when you look at the way that pitch was moving away from him, a lot of time what gets him in trouble is both his hips and his front shoulder all go together, and that's when he finds, where he's like, okay, not swinging in his A swing or crushing the ball. That staying on it is a good sign, and then how he got to that pitch up in the zone against it was impressive as well in his next at-bat. So obviously from an offensive side, really good to see from Shohei, and listen, can't complain what he did on the hill.
And one more thing on the pitching side. Now he has more information. It's different facing guys at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, facing retired players who haven't played in 12, 13 years, then facing Tatis. Obviously, Arise and obviously Machado. So when you have guys that have done it for a long time, great players, great hitters, it's good information so he can learn from it and be ready to go his next start.
All right, just the starting point for Shohei Ohtani's return as a pitcher right now. Let's head upstairs, check in one final time with Joe Davis and Eric Karros.
Dodgers behind a 5-run 4th inning win Shohei Ohtani's pitching debut. Shohei goes just 1 inning, but it's a fun night and it ends in a Dodger win.
Really exciting to see Shohei back on the mound, and the telltale sign will be how does he come out of it tomorrow morning? How does he feel? As far as the Dodgers, that 5-run 4th, outstanding, right? Batted around, and it looked like the way things started that Dylan Cease was going to be unhittable tonight. 5 of the first 6 striking out swinging, but Dodgers had none of that come the 4th inning.
This stretch here where, I mean, they waited for 2 months to face the Padres or the Giants. It's been a successful run here, 5-2 over these first 7 games against them.
Yeah, headline news. Dodgers are good, right? and you know, look, and they're not even, Dodgers aren't even at full strength, going to get better. But I think what this shows is they are a complete team, even without their stars, and things are only going to get better.
All right, game 2 of this 4-game series comes tomorrow night.
And here's what's ahead on the calendar. Still 3 more games with the Padres. Tomorrow night is Replica World Series Trophy Giveaway Night. Wednesday, Gold Player Jersey Night. Thursday is Black Heritage Night. And then on Friday, the Washington Nationals will be in town to wrap up the homestand. By the way, Saturday, Ice Cube Bobblehead Night. All of these games right here on Sportsnet LA. Carl's Jr. moment of the game, Jerry. It is Shohei Ohtani returning to the big league mound for the first time in 663 days. First time in a Dodger uniform.
Great to see the big show back. The velocity was there. I know it's going to take him some time to find his rhythm on the mound, but able to get out of the first inning with just 1 run. Great to have him back on the bump.
Certainly was. What a great night here at the stadium. Great night for Shohei Ohtani as well as the Dodgers. Right now, let's head inside the clubhouse because Shohei Ohtani is now talking with the media.
Can you ask him how he feels about his performance this evening?
今日のパフォーマンス振り返ってみて、結果的にはそこまでいい結果だったとは言えないですけど、まず今日投げ終えて、また次も投げれそうな雰囲気があることがまず一歩前進かなとは思います。
Not quite happy with the results overall, but I think the biggest takeaway for me is that I feel
good enough to be able to make the next outing.
Was he a little nervous going out tonight?
緊張はしましたか？
そうですね、野手よりは緊張しましたね。
Yeah, definitely a little bit more than when I was solely a position player.
Jerry, were you surprised the velocity was as high as it was? And just how did you feel about how this stuff played tonight?
球速上がったのびっくりしましたか？
そうですね、なるべく95、6ぐらいで投げたいなとは思ってたんですけど、やっぱりその試合のレベルでマウンドに行くと上がってしまうのかなっていうのはあったので、最後のボガーツ選手の打席に関してはリラックスして最後投げれたので、そこも一つ良かったかなと思います。
I was aiming to sit 95, 96, but the game intensity really just allowed me to throw a little harder, and I was able to adjust back to be able to throw 95, 96 against Bogarts in the last at bat.
Do you expect to do this kind of once a week moving forward and building up kind of the 2 innings, 3 innings in game action like this?
週1投げて、2イニング目、3イニングっていうなんかそういう過程になるんですかね。
そうですね、100マイル近くまず術後投げたのは初めてなので、明日以降の反応を見たいなと思いますし、1週間に1回投げつつ、またイニングも少しずつ伸ばしていけたら、ブルペンにとっても少しでも負担が減るのかなと思います。
That's my expectation, but I did hit 100 today, so I want to see first where my body feels and how it reacts. And yes, but the expectation is for me to go once a week, hopefully to be able to go a little longer every time I'm out there, so that the bullpen won't be so taxed.
Is playing in a game where you're doing both at the same time, is that more fun? Is that so? Do you get something more emotionally out of those types of games than maybe your standard game where you're just hitting?
二刀流でプレーしているとき、気持ちが高ぶるっていうか楽しいですか？
そうですね。比較的体がずっと温まってゲームに入っている状態で今日は打席には行けてたので、感覚的にはやっぱり DH よりスムーズに打席が過ごせる感じはしますかね。
What I noticed is that when I warm up to pitch in a game, I'm already really warmed up, going into the game. So I did feel a lot better today overall than when I'm just DHing.
Shohei, you haven't pitched in almost 2 years. So what was it like just to be on the big league mound again in a game with a sold-out crowd and everything?
2年ぶりのマウンドでもういろんな観客の前でどうでしたかと。
そうですね、本当に感謝しかないというか、ここまで2回目の手術で、シットの方もそうですし、トレーナーの方もそうですし、ずっとサポートしてもらってここまで来れたので、今日は結果云々関係なく、本当にそういう人たちに対して、すごく感謝の気持ちというか、それをマウンドで出せたのが良かったかなと思います。
I'm just really grateful, reflecting back on all of the support that I received from the doctor who operated on me, the support staff on the team, and everybody who's supported me along the way. So I'm just grateful that aside from the results, to be able to show and be grateful for the moment that I had today.
All right, first pitching outing as a Dodger, Nomar. Let's go to the K-Zone.
Oh, yeah, well, we have to break down Shohei Otani. Here he is in his first at-bat, facing Tatis, gets a 3-2 count, gets him with a fastball. And listen, you're looking kind of fastball there, right, for Tatis, and yet he still gets in on him, doesn't hit really hard, but obviously finds a hole and, gets a base hit. Here, this one he kind of pulls right there, yanks it. Yeah, he throws it hard, got the velocity right here. We got another one that he kind of pulls. He throws it 100. He talked about touching 100, adrenaline kind of kicking in, wanted to stay. I love that he said, I wanted to be around 95, 96. That's where I'm thinking about. Well, really, you'd rather have the movement there. There's a sinker. Okay, gets knocked the other way. He had already got a check swing that wasn't called his way against Machado. That should have been a strikeout. But nonetheless, this was a good slider way to gets a sac fly. But then he comes back in with that fastball and a 3-2 count. This was an unbelievable play, by the way, by Tommy Edman and also Freddie Freeman. But this pitch right here, this one I really like. This is one of my favorite pitches so far he had of this game because this was around that 95, that 96 mile an hour. because he's worried about more having command and also that movement right there. You saw the way that ball went. He missed the barrel. You do that more often than not. These guys may be able to put it in play, but they're not going to put it. They're going to put it in play weekly. And if he continues to do that, worry about that more and going 100, which he talks about, which is great. It's going to allow him to go deeper in the games because you're going to have quicker outs, not trying to get into those deeper counts all the time.
That's a great point. Listen, the 100-mile-an-hour is there. You don't have to throw that pitch all the time. You can have that in your back pocket. Throw that sinker with some run and sink. Get weak contact. The one thing I know once he looks at the video, he's going to see the glove side fastball. He's going to make that adjustment. I think there's a little more adrenaline than anything. He'll make his adjustments and be ready to go for his next outing.
Even more good news. Dodgers had 7 strikeouts tonight, which means tomorrow you can go to Jack in the Box, pick up a free Jumbo Jack with a purchase of a large drink only at LA area restaurants. Tonight's Dodgers used 7 different pitchers to get to those 7 strikeouts, get everybody some free food. Right now, let's head back inside the clubhouse. Will Smith, who caught Shohei Ohtani's first game pitching with the Dodgers, is standing by with the media.
Well, obviously a big win for you guys, but there was a lot of buzz about Shohei pitching. What was it like catching him in that first inning?
Yeah, it was fun. Fun to see him out there, Dodger Stadium for the first time pitching. Hopefully a lot more innings to come.
Did you feed off the adrenaline of the stadium and just, being there behind the plate for him?
Yeah, it was definitely cool. You could feel the excitement. You could see, all the fans that flocked to the bullpen to see him warm up. So everyone was excited. We were excited. So good to see him out there.
What do you think about the pitches themselves, like his execution, just not having pitched in 663 days and being out there?
Yeah, I was so impressed, It's tough getting out there for the first time, big game, starting different team that he's been before. So just try to get him settled in. So it's hard to settle in after 1 inning. I thought he did a great job. I'm sure, next time, whenever that is, will be, maybe a little better. So that's Shohei. So, we expect a whole lot from him.
What changed against Cease in that 4th inning?
We just started collecting hits. We got on base, soft contact, some balls fell in the outfield, took good at bats, and a couple of big hits.
With all the things that Shohei has gone through, it's almost like he's a medical marvel.
Yeah, that's pretty normal TJ timeline, I feel like, for him. Yeah.
Marco, top-tier stat line, Jerry. It's Shohei Ohtani leading all National League players in All-Star voting. 1.39 million votes so far.
Come on, let's have him catch Aaron Judge. I know he's having a historic season, but need to have the big show. #1, Dodger fans, do your thing.
And vote for everybody else as well. Freddie Freeman's in there, Will Smith in there right now, Teoscar Hernandez, all would be starting, but you got to continue to vote. Dodgers.com/votes. Get it done.
Vote for Andy Pages. Let's go.
Pages as well. Dodgers beat the Padres 6-3, and Shohei's return to the pitching mound. Let's go inside and hear from Dave Roberts.
Dave, obviously you guys got the win, but the buzz was about Shohei pitching again. How did that first inning look for you?
I thought it was great. Obviously, we gave up a run, but I thought the stuff was really good. Much better as far as the fastball velocity than I think anyone anticipated. Hit 100. I was thinking 95 to 97, but I think that just a competitor adrenaline came out in him. And they built an inning. I thought he made some really competitive pitches, but overall, just really positive day for us. And, today, I don't think it affected his offense. And like I said before the game, tomorrow we'll be telling to see how he feels as far as fatigue. But I thought overall pretty exciting.
Where was he as far as his limit? Was he getting close to his pitch limit?
I wasn't going to push him past 30. So Bogarts was going to be his last hitter.
Has that been your biggest takeaway, just watching him these last couple months, is how well this stuff is, or just how kind of electric it is to be coming off of a second DJ?
I think that's part of it. Seeing how he's just managed the emotions of it all. You got to be extremely disciplined to be able to kind of put your mind and body in the position to do that. But the stuff like I said, I didn't expect to see 100 tonight. I didn't expect to see the command that he had tonight. And the stuff was really good.
He said he expects to pitch once a week. Are you cool with that?
Yeah, I think that's the plan. So, you're talking 6 or 7, 8 days, something like that. And, we'll see how he is and whether it's another 1 inning the next time or, 2 innings. I don't know that yet, but, it's kind of a read and react situation.
Hey, you were standing, I think, right next to him when he was leaning up against the railing and putting on his batting gloves and his elbow guard right after pitching. Seeing that take place, that transition.
It was really surreal. It was, I don't know if surreal is a word, but it was just really interesting to see him just come straight from the mound to the on-deck circle to get his stuff on, and declined a thing of water from Yosh, and Bob Guerin got him a towel to wipe some sweat off his forehead. But then to go up and taking it bat, it's just, and to see him come into the dugout from the pen, all that stuff, I was kind of fanboying for like a half an inning.
All right, tomorrow, Dodgers and Padres, game 2 of this 4-game series. Shohei Ohtani will go back to being just a DH tomorrow night, Jerry.
Yeah, just a DH. That's pretty good, though. Listen, we know he is incredible with the bat. It was on display once again tonight. But, hey, continue having great at-bats. I love the at-bats the Dodgers had after that second, third inning.
Yeah, I really liked it as well. I like the adjustment. It's listen, Dylan Cease looked like he was on, but they figured it out.
What a fun night. Dodgers get the win 6-3 over the Padres, and Shohei's return to the mound. We'll see you tomorrow. Pre-game at 6 o'clock.
本当に鳥肌が立つような歴史的瞬間でしたね。あの100マイルが表示された瞬間はスタジアム全体が沸き立ちました。投球内容も想像以上に素晴らしく、強い当たりもほとんど打たれませんでした。大谷選手自身は結果に満足していないと言っていましたが、663日ぶりの復帰戦としては文句なしの内容でした。そして何より感動的だったのは、マウンドから降りてすぐにバッティンググローブを装着して打席に向かう姿、まさに二刀流選手の真骨頂を見せてくれました。次回登板では2イニング、3イニングと徐々に調整していく予定とのこと。完全復活が本当に楽しみです。それでは次回の動画でお会いしましょう。さようなら。